locking the door behind me. "Layla," I say into the phone, "listen to me very carefully. You have 5 minutes to get in the fucking car. If you don't, we will be gone forever. I will not look for you in Pakistan. I will not help you anymore. I will never answer your calls. 5 minutes." In the 10 years I've been based in Afghanistan, I've represented multiple clients from different countries with vastly different backgrounds who have had challenging legal issues, many in intensely dangerous situations. I know this territory now like the back of my hand, and although for me it has become just another day's work, I know that for Layla, every second could be the difference between life and death. My phone vibrates. "Miss Motley, please don't leave," Layla texts. I text back, 4 minutes. Chapter 1, The Playlist. In 2007, I was living and working in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Milwaukee is where I grew up. It's where I went to school. It's where I started my life with my husband, Claude, and it's where we had our 3 kids, Diva, Soul, and Cherish. I know Milwaukee better than I know myself, although that doesn't mean I have to like it. Ever since I was a kid, Milwaukee has been the most segregated city in the United States. It's a place that incarcerates more black men than any other city in the U.S., so that now more than 50% of black men in their 30s and early 40s have been incarcerated in some type of state prison. In 2018, Milwaukee was deemed the worst place in America to raise a black child. These may just seem like another set of grim urban statistics to you, but they are more than numbers to me. They represent the experiences I've had my whole life. I grew up in the projects. When I was 7, my best friend was a girl named Janine. I would go to her house every day to play, and I can still remember her mother, a beautiful woman who was always kind to me. I remember how sometimes she would bake us cookies. One night, I was lying in bed when suddenly the street was lit up by the lights of ambulances and police cars. The sirens rang out, and I could hear voices shouting outside my window. The next day, I found out that Janine's mother had been murdered by her father. She had tried to get away, banging on people's doors, crying for help, but no one opened up their door for her. Her husband beat and stabbed her to death in the street and threw her body in the green dumpster that I passed when I walked to school every day. When I was 9, my 2 brothers and I were playing baseball in the neighborhood playground, and an older teenager came over to borrow a bat. He took the bat from us and beat the shit out of another kid in the middle of the street, right there in front of us. That is Milwaukee. It's the city where I was born and raised. It's a city that I love and hate. It's a city that made me who I am and prepared me for whatever the world could throw at me. Despite growing up in the projects, not going to college was never an option. Not with my Korean mother and African-American military father. Even though I had my heart set on other things, they expected me to go to college to get a degree. Still, it wasn't until I was 20 years old and pregnant with Diva that I decided to focus on getting a paralegal degree so I could find a job that earned enough to provide for her. I've always had an interest in law. When I was 2, my father was nearly killed in a car accident while he was working. But not only did his then employer, General Electric, refuse to pay compensation for the disabilities he suffered as a result of the accident, they actually fired him. He was forced to sue. The case rumbled on for years and at times was the main focus of life in our house. Eventually, he went to court and he lost. That transformed life for us because, while we weren't rich before the accident, we were definitely poor after it. We even had to give away our dog. After earning my paralegal degree, I finished my bachelor's degree in criminal justice and then went to graduate school and law school at 2 different universities simultaneously graduating in May 2003. I wasn't yet sure in what area of law I wanted to practice, but I tell people anything but criminal law because I had grown up in that world and seen enough of it to last a lifetime. But when the Milwaukee Public Defender's Office visited our campus and I started talking to one of their recruiters, she convinced me that I was well suited for the work and offered me a job. Already pregnant with my second child, Soul, it seemed easy to say yes. Becoming a public defender is for a lot of people the first time they're introduced to poverty. It can be quite a culture shock. In order to be a lawyer worth your salt, you have to know the law, but also how to deal with people who might be very different from anyone you've ever met. So as soon as I started working at the Milwaukee Public Defender's Office, I could tell I was unusual. While for most of my peers, this was the first time that they'd seen criminal activity up close. I'd been conditioned.